Today I will be going over the basic installation procedures for the Eljen GSF. There are two models, the A42, which is 4 feet long, 2 feet wide, 7 inches high, and the B43, which is 4 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 7 inches high. The white stripe on these modules indicates which side is up. The A42 module gets installed on a bed of C33 sand. Now it can either be 6 inches of sand or 12 inches of sand. Depends on your state or county. So please check your local regulations to find out how much sand you need beneath the module. There is always a minimum of 6 inches of sand on both sides, at the front and at the end of your rows. The sand has to be brought up even with the top of the module, and then it gets 12 inches of cover material. If you have more than 18 inches of cover material, a vent is required, or if your cover material will limit the flow of oxygen down to the system. B43, same way. C33 sand, either 6 or 12 inches. Directly below it, minimum of 6 inches all the way around, front and the back, both sides, and the sand has to come up even with the top of the module, and 12 inches of cover material. Step number 1, excavate your distribution cell. Scarify the bottom and side walls. Place the C33 sand in. If you're installing 12 inches of sand, place 6 inches in, stabilize it, use the back of the bucket on your machine, vibratory plate compactor, hand tamp to stabilize that sand. Add an additional 6 inches and stabilize that. Then install the modules end to end, white stripe facing up. Lay out your distribution system. Make sure you cap the ends. If you have a pressurized system, make sure you cap both ends. Usually what we do, Eljen recommends, is that you just put a cap on a 4-inch pipe. You can use orifice shields if you like. It's just our recommendation that you run your low pressure pipe inside the 4-inch. Install vent pipes if required, if you have more than 18 inches of cover, or if your cover material limits the transfer of oxygen down to your system. You can also use a combination vent and observation port as shown in the center. Also make sure you don't use a T at the end. You want to make sure the effluent, when it runs down the pipe, doesn't flow down through the bottom of your observation port, because you're never going to get anything to the modules. You'll just flood the end of your system. So make sure that that rise is going up, or you have a sweep T. Here's a drawing of a low pressure vent. Some people like to run it up inside the 4-inch pipe. You can run it out separately. I have a picture of one later on in the presentation. Here's a picture of a combination vent observation port. You can see there's going to be well over 18 inches of cover here. Here's a shared vent pipe and another one. Here's the low pressure vent pipe coming out the back right behind the 4-inch pipe. So he's going to have a vent pipe for the system and a separate pipe for him to have access to his low pressure line. Secure the distribution pipe with metal hoops that are provided by Eljen, 1 per module. Just push them right down through the module. Spread the Eljen cover fabric evenly over the top of your row. Secure with sand or topsoil. So just place shovelfuls of sand over the top of the pipe. It'll fall down both sides of the pipe and it'll secure the fabric, and it won't be tented. You don't want to have any tenting on your fabric. Once that's done, bring the sand up the sides. Make sure that your fabric is running down the sides Secure that to the sides of the module, then bring the sand up even with the top of the module. Cover and seed. Here's an installation cutaway. You can see there is 6 inches of sand below the module. You can see the distribution line is secured with one wire hoop that goes through the module and into the sand, keeps everything from moving. You go back a little further, you can see that the gray fabric runs down the sides and over the top of the distribution pipe. Make sure it runs down the sides of the module. There is no tenting here. And then in the back, you can see the 12 inches of cover material. Installation do's and don'ts. Don't install under a driveway. Don't drive over the system after it's installed. Prep the surface area. This is chisel plowing. Once the area is prepped, chisel plowed, put your sand over the top of it. Make sure you're driving over the sand. You don't want to drive your machine over the scarified or chisel plowed area, then dump your sand at the end. Dump the sand in front of your machine, drive over the top of the sand. Here's a picture of what the white stripe would look like on the left. You can see there are two white stripes, one on the top and the bottom. That indicates which side is up. And on the right hand side is what the bottom of the module looks like. So if you did have one in upside down, if you just take a quick look down the row, you should be able to notice it, even if you can't see the white stripe. There's more plastic on the downside and more fabric on the top side. Make sure there's no tenting of the gray fabric. Make sure the fabric goes down the sides of the modules. Do not tuck the extra fabric underneath. Make sure the sand comes up the sides, even with the top of the module. Make sure you cap the ends of your distribution system. Do not install in the seasonal high water table. Remove any large rocks. Divert drainage and runoff. If you have any questions, you can contact Eljen toll free at 800-444-1359 or email us at info@eljen.com. Thank you.